Hey guys, welcome back. And if you're new here, I'm Davey. I've done over $200 million in sales on Shopify. Today's episode is going to be a full guide on fulfillment, and I'm going to take you around a tour of one of our top 3PLs. You'll learn everything you need to know about how to set up a 3PL, the ins and outs of shipping rates, and so you don't get ripped off, and the red flags you should look out when scouting for the best 3PL. 3PL stands for third-party logistics. They'll manage all parts of the warehousing and fulfillment process. That includes receiving shipments from your manufacturer, holding products in storage, and shipping orders to your customers. 3PLs also handle packaging promotions, returns, and other marketing elements. Using a 3PL means you can focus on other things that you know how to do, the things that you're good at, which includes growing your brand and marketing. The whole point of getting a 3PL is to help you scale. You've got your product, you're starting to get orders, you need to make sure your customers are having a great experience for you to be able to scale and get good reviews. This is something that you can't do when you're dropshipping. You need a 3PL's help. People are expecting shorter shipping times nowadays, and it's important to get this pillar of your business set up. Okay, let's take you around for a quick tour of our 3PL. How do you figure out when you should use a 3PL? One, if you're filling more than 10 to 20 orders per day, do some profit margin calculations and estimate your potential growth. If you're able to maintain a healthy profit, what opportunities are you able to pursue if you were to outsource that fulfillment? Two, if you're running out of inventory storage space at home in your parents' garage and you need to move into a bigger space. Three, are you getting negative reviews from your long dropshipping lead times? You actually might be surprised that 3PLs are actually much cheaper than dropshipping from China, depending on your region and your size of goods. All right, so now you've decided that you need a 3PL, let's get into how to set one up. First, you do a quick Google search for as many 3PLs as possible. You can use an outreach template, which I'll put in the description. Make sure you get all the dimensions of your products, volume of sales, and your SKU count. This is the information that they'll need you to give a quote. A key thing I learned with my own business is that in Australia, specifically, going cross-border can really increase your rates dramatically. Try to get a 3PL with warehouses in multiple states and countries, so you can expand with ease as your business grows. One of the massive advantages of working with Fulfillio is the fact that you've got warehouses in Sydney, Melbourne, Perth, Queensland, so we can get our Oodies to our customers quicker. Can you explain a little bit about distributed inventory?
Yeah, so our platform, our Fulfillio platform, has inventory in each of the locations right across the country. And as your order comes in, a customer's order comes in, it says that this customer lives in New South Wales, and so it'll send the order to New South Wales instead of sending it to Victoria, which increases the cost for transport. So it gets it to the customer quicker and also cheaper.
For sure. Yeah, the main thing definitely for us was that cost saving and also our customer satisfaction. We were getting more reviews because it was getting to them quicker. So.
Yeah, and so distributed inventory also works really well for same-day fulfillment and same-day delivery. So you can take advantages of some of these wonderful services about 3-hour crosstown delivery.
Make sure you demand a transparent pricing model. A good 3PL will be very upfront, and you'll be able to understand how the pricing model changes as you grow. There should be no surprises. If there are, that brings us into red flag territory. Let's look at some red flags to look out for when you're talking to these 3PLs so that you can figure out which one's best for your business. Red flag 1, a good 3PL will have a great integration with shopping carts like Shopify to automatically take your orders. IT integrations are an important part of 3PLs. 3PLs should have very good answers about the ease of integration to reduce costs. Red flag 2, they need to have clear standard operating procedures as well, which you'll need to discover during the onboarding process. If the process is confusing at the start, it's not going to get any better from there. It's a big red flag because it means that their processes aren't streamlined, and it's going to make things more difficult for you. If you can, go check out the facility. It's not 100% necessary, but when I first started the Oodie, I flew all the way to the UK just to see the 3PLs and make the right choice. You want to understand their delivery capacity, their inbound capacity, and just how big their operation is. So you can see all of the calming blankets and Oodie orders stacked up here all the way to the roof, and they stretch along here. Can you explain how this all works?
Yeah, so essentially a lot of your product will come in and it's put into what we call a reserve location. And so that's orders that are, or product that's sitting there, and they're going to wait and drop that down to the ground level, and then we'll have people going through on trolleys and picking orders. So they're picking individual items for individual customers. You'll see these are all pick faces down the bottom and reserve up top.
Red flag number 3, make sure they're requiring barcodes on all their products. Some 3PLs will say they use barcodes, but then they won't actually scan them at each part of the fulfillment process, making them useless. If your 3PL doesn't use barcodes, then there's no easy way to keep track of your inventory, and you're leaving yourself wide open for guesswork and human error.
One of the major red flags when using a 3PL is if they don't actually require barcodes. Can you explain what that is?
Yeah, so barcodes are really important, because you're picking via a barcode, and that's for stock accuracy. So you want to make sure that you scan that barcode and that it goes into the order correctly. Otherwise, you're looking at a description. Some descriptions look similar, colours look similar. The barcode says exactly what the product is, and it's all done via the WMS system.
You can buy barcodes cheaply. Just search UPC barcodes on Google. So far, that's the only barcode that we've ever had to use, and we use 3PLs all around the world. Then you just need Canva to put your product title on top of the barcode, the SKU in the middle, and then put it onto your package. Work with your supplier to make this happen. Make sure that if you've got a box of 10 or 100 units, you also put a master carton barcode on that box. The 3PL will then be able to scan that master barcode and only charge you once. That'll save you a ton of money. Make sure you ask your 3PL about these processes as well when you sign up. Red flag number 4, your 3PL should be able to provide accurate real-time data, which is why barcodes are so important. If your inventory count online says there's 100 units, you need to make sure that these units are available. Otherwise you'll oversell and you'll get some really angry customers. There should be a clear stock on hand metric to earmark stock to make sure that you know how many products you can then sell. Red flag number 5, you want access to clear stats and reports. This is especially important with your financials. As a business owner, you really need to study the outgoing stock to match it to your Shopify sales to make sure that they're not overcharging you. Then match it to your 3PL rates that they quoted to you when you signed up. Red flag number 6. Now in terms of order fulfillment, you want orders to fulfill FIFO, first in, first out. What this does is it prevents, again, from overselling. You want the stock allocation to go to the customers that have ordered. Red flag number 7. Another thing that you really want to do is understand the communication from your 3PL. Do they have good customer service? What is their average response time to your inquiries? Because that response time is then going to be sent to your customer, and if they have to wait a long time, it's going to reflect badly on you. Make sure you're getting all this information in writing when signing up, because then you can reference it if things ever go badly. To be honest though, things are not rosy all the times with 3PLs. Logistics are really hard to nail, even for big companies. Just know that you need to be realistic when working with a 3PL. They're going to give you greater capabilities, but do expect teething problems to be quite normal. Just make sure they share the same values, which is the customer is always right, customer first, and constantly trying to fix problems. All right guys, thanks for watching this. Make sure you subscribe. If you need some help, email me, davey@daveyco, and we'll help you with your warehousing questions. Cool.